Keith, you were a student at Tough Times U also. Talk a little bit about that.
I was, in the late 80s and early 90s, I was involved with some partners, and we had a business that had terrific potential and growth. We doubled every year for 12 years, I think, except 1 year. And we were twice in the Inc. 500. We had been on the cover of Inc. magazine, and we thought we were all that in a bag of chips, to be honest. And in 1996, we suffered a significant takedown. Our biggest client stopped placing business with us just overnight. Several $1 million contract just evaporated, and several other things happened that put the life of the firm in jeopardy. And as I look back at those times, it's truly one of those best of times and worst of times. From a worst standpoint, we had to lay off almost 300 people. We went from 360 people to 90 people in about 3 months. Really, really difficult time. But it was the best of time because a number of our middle managers really emerged as leaders and stepped up and took control of various departments and did tremendous work in reorienting the business. And we essentially reinvented the business over the period of about 6 months. And the bad news is that we had grown really fast, but we're still only a $10 or $12 million business when this happened. But through some of the things we noticed about ourselves and through identifying what truly our core competency was, over the next 3 years, we grew from about $3 million to $150 million. So, a growth rate we had never imagined before. And it would not have been possible had we not been forced to kind of reinvent ourselves in that tough time.
Keith, anything that you'd like to add in summary?
It's so tough to summarize 5 years of work and 1,500 interviews in a short period of time. And I've done a lot of media interviews in the last few months since the book came out. And people love to ask the question, what's the one thing that determines, whether a company's going to break through or not? And I hate that question because I don't really believe there's a one thing. But I recently discovered a story that I think captures the essence of breakthrough performance. Most people have never heard of a guy named Jarny Herfelson. And almost everybody has heard of Leif Erikson, the famous Viking explorer and the son of Eric the Red. And the difference between breakthrough companies and non-breakthrough companies is the difference between Leif Erikson and Jarny Herfelson. And the story is about 900 A.D. Jarny Herfelson was on his way from Iceland to Greenland to visit some family. And his ship got blown off course, and he got blown all the way over to the New World, just off the coast of Newfoundland. And so many people believe he was the first European to ever be near the New World, to discover the New World. But Jarny was in a hurry to get back to see his family, so rather than actually going ashore, he just turned his boat and headed back to Greenland. But in every pub he had the chance, he told the story of this amazing place he had seen, these high mountains and verdant hills. And lo and behold, Leif Erikson, Eric the Red's son, finally heard the story and tracked down Jarny and basically made him tell him everything he could about the journey. Where was he when he was blown off course, and what headings did he use to get back to Greenland? And Leif Erikson even ended up buying Jarny Herfelson's boat and sailing over and becoming the first noted European to set foot on the New World shore. And so the difference between Leif Erikson and Jarny Herfelson was simply that one went to shore and the other one didn't. And what we found in studying these breakthrough companies is, as we compare them to the comparison companies, is almost always one went ashore and the other didn't. Fastenal didn't invent the nut and bolt distribution business. And frankly, it's not a very sexy business. And a 4-hour drive from Fastenal was a company called Indries, and they crossed the $10 million in sale line about the same time, and they crossed the $50 million sales line about the same time, and the $100 million sales line about the same time. But then Fastenal took off like a rocket, and Indries kind of leveled out. And the difference was just going ashore. And so my advice to anybody who wants to build a company that has breakthrough performance is build an organization where people are incentivized to go ashore, to actually dig into the industry, create a position, explore new opportunities, and just always ask the question, why not?